Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the commodities update video. And today we'll be looking at support and resistance levels for natural gas, oil, UNG, silver, gold, as well as the US dollar. And we'll be looking at the most likely scenario where price will be heading into for them later this week. And the Discord link is in the bio. It's free, so feel free to join and come chat about stocks or natural gas or commodities or anything that is coming out. And feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you guys learn anything. Let's get started. So we have been looking at natural gas straight diving, and you guys have been asking me about it. So let's take a look here. So you guys last week talked about where this support broke. So you can see it was acting as prior resistance here, resistance. And then when the price is above it, it flips into support, support, support. And when we broke below this, I said that if we back test it and reject from that, which we did, back tested it, now it flips into resistance. And then like a scenario there would have been price would be heading lower. But made a video last Friday saying that after we rejected there, most likely scenario is probably heading lower and to this level where it was acting as support, 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 support. And you can see we bounced off of that yesterday, and didn't bounce anywhere near close back to this level. And then we just broke through that today. When you guys know I talked about shallow retracements and shallow bounces. If it bounces off of support very shallow, that means there's not much bulls, and then that's why we flushed through that support after we retest it. Take a look on the hourly, see what happened there. So hourly trend, let's see here. So we had a small hourly trend change here, and zero follow through over here. So you can see we just broke above this and then went the other direction. Essentially, right now there is zero signs of bounces yet at this given moment, and the only thing we can look at right now, this is like all-time lows, meaning it's same thing as when stock market hits all-time highs. It's just doing its price discovery mode, where it decides to keep going until it finds a level of support and potential some sideways action, or the selling slows down a little bit. And that's the only thing we can look at because there's no other price actions around us or anywhere near. And we can look at the RSI. We can say, okay, so on the daily time frame, natural gas is a little bit oversold, right? It's getting there. It's pretty much hitting 30 right now. So we can say it's oversold, but oversold can always stay oversold, just like anything. All the markets or anything overbought can also stay overbought. All right, so you can see over here, clear example, when we hit oversold right here, which is this spot, we bounced a little bit. Guess what? We made a new low after that. And if you had just bought at that oversold, you've been down 15%. But the thing is that we made a higher low, a divergence, meaning the RSI is higher while the price made it lower. And that was one of the signals that made it bounce. So let's say we bounce it from here a little bit, right? Or we get another drop, one more. It's really oversold. And then we bounce. And then RSI makes a higher low while price makes a new low. Then that could potentially mark the bottom as well. Just like what it did back there. But as of now, we can't say any of that. It's too much hypotheticals at the moment, but we can say that it's slightly oversold. So the first thing I want to be looking at, if things may start to shift around, is give me an hourly uptrend back to the bulls. That's a bare minimum. If we just kind of keep going, bounce a little bit, goes a little bit lower, bounces a little bit, goes a little bit lower, making lower lows and lower highs each time it goes, it's just going to keep continuing. So the bare minimum I want to see, it's a bounce big enough, make a higher low pivot and a higher high for hourly trend change back to the bulls for me to say, okay, that may potentially give us a better chance that it may mark the bottom. Otherwise, it would just be things like this. Drop, even if hourly is oversold, doesn't matter. We get a little bounce, make a new low, lower low. This low is going to be lower than prior pivot low. It just continues like that. Hourly downtrend stays intact, and bears are still in control at this moment. So yeah, bare minimum, show me a hourly uptrend, or if you really want to try to nail the bottom and wait for at least some kind of divergence on the RSI. That's right, where it diverges, make RSI make it higher low while the price makes it lower low, and you'll have a better chance of trying to nail the bottom. Make sure to set stop losses because nailing bottoms and tops are pretty hard, and usually we get stopped out. So give it a few tries and don't try too many times. But let's see here, weekly. Yeah, there's nothing really. This is a pretty much a monthly bull bear flag playing out. You can see big drop, small bounce, monthly bull bear flag playing out. Isn't where I talked about if it doesn't bounce over 0.382. So we measure from the top of the move, the bottom of this move, and then this is the bounce. We pretty much bounce maybe like 10% of that move. So as long as it's below 0.32, which we weren't even near, it's a bear flag. And we pretty much broke the prior low, so it's a confirmed bear flag at this moment. We don't know where exactly it's going to head to until it starts to form some level of supports along the way, and we'll know when it forms. Otherwise, right now it's pretty much closed at this absolute bottom. So the very first step gave us that hourly uptrend back to the bulls for us to even say anything is even considered reversing. So UNG similar, so it follows pretty much net gas, so it's hitting also a 52-week low as well. So now support to form along the way, and we're also getting a little bit daily oversold. Daily oversold can also stay over, so you can just look at this part. It oversold from January 3rd all the way to February for a whole month. So oversold can stay oversold. We don't want to use an indicator to just get in, right? You could have gotten here as well. Oversold at 23 RSI, which is pretty low. 23 RSI. Where is that? Let's take a look here. 23 RSI would have been roughly over here. If you got in here and you take profit here, great job. But if you're one of those investors where you get in and you don't get out, you decide to hold, you've been down 65% now, right? So it would have been a great ad, but you have to get up some profit here. Otherwise, yeah. So let's just say right now, same idea. Hourly, give me an hourly uptrend. Right now, we don't even have that. You can see hourly trend is still in favor of the bears. Every time it makes a lower low, higher low, lower low, keeps going lower low, makes a new low. So lower low just means a new low, lower than the prior low. And at this given moment, the bounce is yet, and we'll see. A lot of volume at the end of the day. Yeah, big flush. Yeah, give me the hourly uptrend, and then potentially we will be looking for reversal. All right, so oil. Oil has not broken out of 12 EMA, where you guys know I talked about this teal looking line, which has been rejected from there 7 times, 10 plus this another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. We're still under it. So as long as oil does not get over 12 EMA, keeps things this simple. You don't want to be going long if it's under this teal looking line. It has been rejecting from it. Very clear multiple times, and it's still in a daily downtrend. Let's see. Drop. Still below the prior pivot. Bounces. And still below prior pivot. So it's pretty much tightening up as well. You can see the range is getting really tight. So whichever way this breaks, when it breaks bull, I want to see it breaks above 12 EMA at the same time and then close above it. Then that's a good sign that oil may come back up here, 75. That's 75. If we can break bull, breaks bear, we're looking back down at the 66 zone. Obviously, we'll be looking at down this low first. Tightening range is low at 67.45. That breaks, we're coming down to 66.6. You can see we can move up, smaller move. Next move is smaller and smaller, 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 and it'll break once it gets too small, which is probably in the next couple of days. By the end of this week, it should break this tiny range, and then we'll know which way it's going to head it to. All right, gold. All right, gold's testing its key resistance. So this black looking line, we could say it got over it, but it's right at this level, which may rejection once, twice, 3 times, and we'll see if we can get over that. So we get another close above this 2043. Then I would say it's a bull break from this, also this black looking resistance as well. Prior support, 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 resistance, resistance. Now acting as potential resistance. Pretty much right on that line. So we'll see if it gets a clear break tomorrow over 043. Two resistance coinciding with this same area. And the dollar is not slowing down, so on the downside. So it's great for gold and silver. So as long as this dollar keeps heading down, and silver and gold has a better chance of it going higher. So I talked about this one as well. Very clear EMA 12. This tail linking line, as long as the dollar is trending down with it. See 3 rejections here, another rejection here as well. The daily downtrend, so very clear. Every bounce goes a lower low, bounce, lower low. So every time, as long as the daily downtrend is still intact, no signs of reversal yet at all for dollar. And getting a little bit oversold now. The last time we got pretty oversold at 24 is where we bounced. So we'll see if it bounces this time when we get close to 24s. And maybe it'll bounce right here. So you see this resistance, resistance, resistance. So when we come down to here, price is above it, so it's going to act as support. And it will also coincide with our side close to 24. When we get another leg down, we should be at probably 25 levels for our side when we hit the support level right here. And that support level also coincides with horizontal support level, close to around here. Prior resistance, whole bunch here. Resistance, support, some resistance here, so it should also act as support around here. There's a couple of supports here, so we'll see if we get a bounce. If we do get a bounce, I want to see a trend change, big enough bounce where it can change the trend back to bull's favor. Not something like this. There's a very shallow bounce. There's also a very shallow bounce. This was big enough that could have changed it, but it rejected from the 12 EMA. Just want to see a decent enough bounce. Otherwise, it would just make another lower low with a shallow bounce. So the size of the bounce when we do hit this 102.4 key zone. Right. Silver bull break. We talked about this last week, where this is the last boss of the resistance. This downtrending line, and we battle around that for like 7 days or something, and then we finally broke out of it. You can see once we get out of that, we have 3 really green days because that's a bull break out of a very long like what, all the way to March to November. So it's over more than half a year. So roughly 8 months. So 8 months of a pattern that breaks out, you get a lot of follow through usually from whichever side it breaks. So that's a bull break. So we got a straight 6% move in just 3 days out of that range. And we're pretty much looking at this resistance level now. If we get over that, then we're looking at this all-time high structure. Resistance, this, and then we're looking at this guy, which we probably looking at 25.87 first. All right, that's all I got for you guys. And feel free to subscribe, like, and share if you guys made it this far. And if you'd like to support the channel, the Patreon link is below. And feel free to message me on Patreon. If you guys support, you can ask me any personal questions or anything like that, or just comment below or if you have any questions. And I will see you guys sometime later this week. Have a great rest of you guys this week.